Ladies and gentlemen, the 2.5 Amigos.
God, these guys are loco.
If you're looking for a responsible, mature podcast, this ain't it. If you're looking for a lot of drinking, random nonsense, stunts, and shenanigans, you've hit the jackpot.
It's Amigos.
With your hosts, Albert, Scott, and Mark.
Well, that's up to you.
That's a personal choice.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Quarantine with Friends.
Quarantine with Friends.
Amigos PC. Our special guest, Zach Lyman.
Hello.
Phoenix comedian, marketing guru.
Ooh.
I think, I want to say
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good title for sure.
I like it.
We've been... what are you working? Not working together. Working together.
Talking, shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Collaborating.
Collaborating. I like that. That's good.
Hashtag collab.
The last couple weeks, and just shooting ideas together of figuring out how to get in front of more people podcast wise, and dude, it's working.
Nice.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
nice.
It has been picking up for sure. Which I'm sure Mark probably told you a little bit. That's been upticking, and our website and our blog stuff we're doing to
that's great.
Drive internet traffic for sure. It's working.
Yeah. We've been in in a group chat of just kind of like shooting back and forth of like, what I'm working on this week, what you're working on, and just kind of like, picking our brains together and just thinking of ideas. And I'm very much like a late night owl where I just like in the middle of the night work on watching random videos and growing and trying to like scheme a new plan of growing the podcast. So
that's
same,
Mark
dude.
too. That's Mark. Yep.
Late at night, trying to figure something out.
I'll get a text. I'll get a text at like 12:30, and I'll see it the next morning. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? If you go on this and check this out and read this and this and that, and I'm like, all right, okay, I'll look at it as soon as I wake up.
Hey, this is a good read. Make sure you read it.
I did start that read. I want to finish that, by the way. That did look very interesting, what you sent me.
About the SEO one? No,
it was about the small immigrants that came over and 3 people died. No, it was what you said.
Oh, no.
I was like, what?
No, what you said.
I never said anything serious.
Yeah, you didn't send that.
That was a missend.
Oh, that wasn't you? That was someone else late at night.
I know we're going to get into a lot of marketing talk at some point in here.
Okay.
SEO, things like that. I know it's going to come up. But first and foremost, how's comedy? What's going on? How is your comedy or the comedy scene that you've been in with COVID and everything like that?
Comedy doesn't exist. It's not real.
Right now.
It's an invisible disease. It's comedy's hard, man. That's like I'm fully another reason why you see me fully leaning into marketing and podcasting and creating content that way. Because like stand up is just like I was doing writing groups and I was doing like kind of online meetups of sorts to kind of grow and write jokes. But it all just made me miss doing stand-up so much that I was like, what are some other creative outlets that I can do? Like comedy's just been hard for all of us that, all of us stand-ups. And it's more of like reminiscing out of anything. Anytime I talk to other comics. So, it's been a tough time.
You haven't done any of the online mics, right?
No, I've watched some, but I haven't done any.
Any good or any good or I haven't seen any, so I don't know.
Without throwing anybody under the bus or anything.
Don't say any names unless you want to, because that would be awesome.
I'm not gonna throw anyone under the bus because the ones that I did watch were like very well ran, so I don't have anything on the side of like, oh, this is terrible. But I do think it's funny that you performing on Zoom or anything is basically the same as going to an open mic. Like no one's listening anyways. It's a lot of you're just talking to an empty room. It's very much the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But instead you have to look at your reflection onto the computer being like, oh, what am I doing? Like luckily you can hide that with blinding lights and on a stage. But no, I don't think they're for me because I tell longer stories. And I feel like telling someone a longer story on a Zoom that's like set up punchline long story can be rough. And I feel like this is a great time for me to just kind of head into the education realm for right now. And then, do stand up in the way that I want to do it in front of actual people later.
Have you been working on like any bits or anything like that?
Yeah, I probably have a new maybe 10 minutes that I've written since but who knows if it's any good. I have 10 minutes of pages, really, is what I know.
Do you have any pets at all? Do you have a cat or a dog or anything?
No, I don't.
Oh.
I don't.
I was going to say, have you ran it by them at all to see if it's any good? Because a cat, they'd be like, this is shit, and walk away.
I'm just going to start hitting random numbers in my phone, just going through my contacts. And
there you go. Do
hits on old bosses or something.
What is it called when the phone buddy or your text phone neighbor? So send your phone neighbor your shit and see what happens.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I have a stockpile of it's funny, before this happened, I was filming every time I went on stage, and then I was gonna like start releasing them over time, like just like almost like kind of like home movie style, where it's like people at the mic hanging out, me and my friends hanging out, and then cut to like a clip of me doing stand up.
Very cool.
So I have like a whole bunch of stock footage, and I was like, maybe I should just be posting that, being like, here's my laughs, get my laughs, like I should just be posting that for stand up.
It's not a bad idea. Joe Rogan did have someone on their podcast where they became famous from them just putting 1-minute skits on YouTube.
Okay. Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but I know that he was. Shoot.
Yeah. Well, I did get a lot of my Instagram following from doing 10-second jokes.
Okay.
That was based off of Snapchat only having 10 seconds. And then I was just taking my Snapchats and I was posting them. And really what I was using it was that's an easier way for me to write. So if I have a good idea, I could just kind of do the setup punchline version and then post it and then get some views and then go back through later and write like a full joke based on that. So that's how it started. And then I was just consistently uploading 10-second jokes. So maybe I should be doing that. I don't know. I don't know what I should be doing. I'm just trying my best.
No, yeah, we don't know how that goes. We don't know what to do during all this fun.
Yeah, I know. We're doing things that are like working now, but like, 2 minutes from now, whatever we were doing isn't working anymore, and we got to like pivot and change.
Yeah. Like
that's kind of why I like. That's why I like the chat that we built. Me, you, Stefan from Hyperbole / comedy
advice
podcast. I don't know, you just recently changed, just like we did.
Yeah.
We're shooting ideas. This whole Spotify thing. Like I haven't really seen like a huge uptick with the Spotify, but overall, because like we're constantly in it and we're promoting somewhere, we're seeing a huge uptick in everything.
Yeah.
I was talking to Scott earlier, and I'm all like, dude, like, I'm trying to figure out what happened and where the volume's coming from so we can focus on that, but I don't know because everything's up.
Yeah, that's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I contributed to, the chat that we're in. We're constantly talking about, what's going on and
that's what I've been enjoying too, is that like any of my random thoughts or whatever, I've just been sending it to you guys of just like, this is, I know it's midnight, but I just thought of this new idea and, like the whole, like I was like, I'm just gonna, because I was so tired of last year I was really doing well on iTunes.
Yeah.
And like, I was in the top 80 for comedy. And I was like, this is great. And so this year I was like always just trying to get back to that. And then like a week ago I just gave up and I was like, what about Spotify? Like, what if I just focused on Spotify? Because they have a top charts too. And you read their blog posts and they say they have 250 million listeners. And I'm like, that's enough,
Yeah, that's enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no Facebook, but it's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good try, It's a nice try. It's a good start. So I'm like,
So you also do actually, before I get into that, you have a book. So you've been in comedy for like 11 years, and you have this ebook that you've done with your 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
Scott laughs.
I see. No, because I'm laughing because the scroll says I can't hear you, Scott. Because that's from earlier. That was from earlier when we were having technical difficulties. So that's why I started laughing. I'm like, that's funny.
I'm just trying to be funny. I'm throwing everything.
That's why I was laughing.
You got quite a few bullet points. You got quite a few bullet points in your ebook. Is there like a main takeaway that you could give off the ebook to attract someone to come and download it and use your experience to help them? Maybe someone that's not in comedy or they've only been in comedy a couple of years. You've been in 11 years, dude. Like, I can't imagine the journey that you've been through.
Yeah. My when I wrote the book, I was really kind of like I was debating between making just one long video and being like, here's everything. Like, here's how I book a tour. Here's how I sell merch. Because I do get pretty often questions about all the topics that are in the book.
Yeah.
And it's very like, I don't mind answering every person and being very open and honest. I'm very forward with anything I've done that's successful or failures. Like, I've been like, yeah, that's how I got that thing that failed. That's cool. But my main takeaway for the book is that if you're a comedian and you're looking to kind of lean into paying your bills, or at least being able to like pay your phone bill and kind of like lean that side of do it yourself comedy.
Yes.
That's the book is really for those people. Because I started booking my tours and doing everything because I wanted to be a full-time comic, but I wanted to control my audience of like how I get my audience and where they can see me, and like very much like everything on my terms. So the book's aimed for people like that. So if that's the route you're in, or you're leaning towards, the book's for you. Because there's other ways of doing comedy, but that's what I've been doing for 11 years, for good or bad. I don't know, but it kind of breaks down all of it.
Awesome.
So do you have a favorite venue here in the Valley that you like to perform at?
Yeah, I have two. I have two favorite venues right now. The Tempe Improv is definitely like out of comedy clubs. I think the Tempe Improv, they have treated me so well. They are a great club. It's like big but cozy. It's everything I look for in a comedy club. And then outside of comedy, I would say the Rebel Lounge was probably my favorite place to headline that's not a comedy club in Phoenix. So
where's the
good.
Rebel Lounge at?
Rebel Lounge is on Indian School in like 20th Street, 12th Street, something like that, around that area. It used to be called the Mason Jar back in the day. And when it was called the Mason Jar, that's where like Nirvana played when they came through. Meat Puppets have played there, I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Yeah, like some... you go to their website, Rebel Lounge, and you can just see that there's like a list of like every band possible has played there. So it's very much like a punk venue that's like really nice. And that was a great venue, and they gave me a great deal, and they were really easy to work with, which is another part that I tried to get past in the book is I'll give you an example. I called a venue in another state, and the guy was immediately hard to just even talk to, the owner, the booker.
Mm.
And I was just like, he was like, very like, this is my building. You're just a performer. You're basically scum, like very much like what I say is the rules. And I was just like, yeah, I don't think I want to perform here. And he was just like, wait, what? And I'm just like, yeah, I don't think this is.
Yeah.
Like, I know we talked about a date already, but yeah, this isn't for me. So I'm very that way. Like, I want to work with people that are easy to work with because, like, I want to come back, and I want you to want me to come back, and I want to build this relationship, which is, that took me a long time to realize that's a thing that I wanted. But I want to build this relationship where every year on this exact date, I can come back here and have a good time, and we both are just happy to see each other. And, we don't have to be best friends, but at least, treat each other like people. And so, yeah, like I'm very like, when I pick venues, I'm already calculating that of like, do I want to come back here? Do I want to reschedule this?
Well, and I've heard that Arizona or Phoenix Improv and Copper Blues and the other one up north is a lot of comedians love it here because the owners are easier to deal with than some of the others throughout the country. Like, so they get basically it's hard to deal with some of them. So that's obviously a known, like, that goes on. That's hard to deal with some of these owners.
Exactly. And it's it's in comedy clubs, it's in music venues, it's in boxed theaters. It's a mix of people. You never, all owners are they're people, and good or bad. So it's but in Arizona, I think we're very lucky that we have a lot of great venues. We really do, and we have a lot of great bookers for those venues. So. Another reason why I'm still here.
You are your own boss too, so like you get to decide like, oh well, I'm not gelling with this booker or this club, or just not digging the scene. So you get to dictate. Okay, well, I'm not gonna go here. I'm not gonna perform here.
Yeah, right now I'm supposed to be on a 3-month tour, basically.
Wow.
It would have started. I don't even know what day it is, but it would have started a while ago. And so I've already missed most of my dates in most of the country. But like, I took the whole last year of just booking, from basically just going through my connections and just going, I want to go from this part of the country or wrap all the way around and then come back down. I was going to do a giant circle basically. And, but that's exactly it. Of like, there were some venues that there were some venues that got removed from the tour because I've never been there before. And then as I got to know them, I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just skip that one.
Yeah.
I'll just move on to the next one. But, because it's not only, I'm not even talking about like that, but maybe like how helpful are they? Are they willing to help you? Are they going to put your flyer up? Do they even put it on their website that you're coming? Like, all the thoughtful things, and that's like another thing. Going back to the Rebel Lounge, they were like, I was on their website. They made a Facebook event for me. Like, they were like above and beyond, like so many, like they were doing marketing for me. And I was just like, this is shocking and amazing. Like, so
that's awesome.
Well, obviously they want people to come and check you out.
For real.
Yeah, it's good for both of us,
Yes, exactly.
So,
have you thought about doing like a marketing book too, or unless you have one, and I didn't know that already, but have you thought about maybe doing that to help like podcasters and comedians and stuff to like boost their?
I started writing before I even wrote the ebook for comedy. I started writing like 100 things coffee shops should and shouldn't do, because. My first job ever was being a barista, basically, and then I've worked in coffee, and then my marketing background is working for coffee shops and large coffee companies. So it's like when I worked at one job, part of my job was to travel the country and just go to coffee shops.
Wow.
And like, I'm trying to sell them a product in the end goal, but really I'm just supposed to go to as many shops as I can during the day, even just to say hi.
So how wired were you? Like fucking like off the wall?
Oh, dude, or? I had to make rules to myself. I had to make rules.
Okay, so only 8 coffees today.
Yes,
only 8 today,
so
Zach.
And then if they insist you have a latte, you only drink half of it, and you leave with the other half. But
no
espresso,
please.
Oh, dude, so much
foamy milk.
But like during that time, I was like seeing like when you're going like sometimes I would be in 8 coffee shops a day. You start seeing what everyone's doing wrong or what everyone's doing right. Like very similar things start blending together, and you start seeing. And so it gave me the idea of like I should put this all down into a book. I need to maybe that's another thing I should do. I got too many things.
I honestly thought you were going to say I started seeing the same customers over and over.
They're following him to the same coffee place.
Well, if he's drinking coffee everywhere,
he knows something. He knows where to get the good stuff. I saw that guy a couple shops ago.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to finish an ebook about just coffee shops, and then maybe one about podcasting. But I don't really. I have way more to say about coffee shops, than I do about podcasting. Go.
I was thinking.
Oh.
More like marketing and like that's what I was thinking. It didn't have to be podcasts, but just like marketing in general. Like, it seems like you know a lot, and you definitely have awesome knowledge there. That might be something too. And anyone can take it, small businesses or whatever, for the knowledge there to help grow their business.
Okay, I'm going to take your advice. I'm going to take your advice.
And make yourself money.
I think you're right. I think I should just make it more of businesses in general, because I do have a lot to say about small businesses.
Because if you blanket it in like one kind of situation, then it can go to others.
Yeah.
Types of small businesses, and then you don't kind of. It doesn't have to be just the coffee world. You know what I mean? In a sense.
Yeah. I could kind of do it for everyone.
Yeah.
Why not? I could do both, and then I could just change the title.
You'll get more exposure.
Get more exposure. Do though, like if you did a marketing one, you could just copy and paste different title.
Coffee marketing.
Great ways to market coffee. Great ways to market. Great ways.
Cleaner shops, or like I don't know, like.
Don't take this snig bit. Don't take this little part and post it after I post my new book. Don't. Right under it.
Just attach the link to it. We talked him into this.
It was $1 million idea.
Where's our $9, Zach? We want to cut.
Yeah, your $9. Yeah, I know.
Our $9 finder's fee.
I know. That's like so many people hate that my ebook is free. They're like, "You're not charging anyone for this comedy," and I'm like, "Just have it. Just have the book."
That's when you say it's free. You say free, and then you do and then there's add-on cost. Like, chapter 2 is $10. Shit like that. See, first chapter is free. Second chapter, $10.
I honestly think it's a brilliant marketing ploy idea.
Yeah.
Not ploy. Idea.
Yeah, ploy sounds bad. You don't want to use ploy in a great idea.
It's a great pyramid scheme.
Yeah. I love your ebook.
You're off to a great start.
Scam.
Yes. Multi-level marketing at its best.
Yes.
That's what I don't know if you I never even told you that. Why I got into marketing was because I was trying to learn it for comedy, in general, right? And then
sorry, I laughed because I was putting the multi-marketing thing in my head.
Yeah,
in the comedy, because it kind of is.
I started learning for comedy because I was like, how do I get people to come to my shows, right? And then I would be talking to my friends that own businesses, and they'd be like, yeah, I just gave that guy $8,000 and I got nothing, like crazy numbers.
What?
And I would be like, I could have done that for like $1. Like, I was just very like, so I started like learning more, and then like started helping out other businesses. And it was just all based on that of like, I was tired of seeing my friends get taken advantage of by like these, because I get ads all the time that are like, I'll teach you marketing for $5,000, and I'm like, I don't think I want to. I think I figured out your goal here.
Yeah.
This is how you click a couple buttons. I'm not saying marketing is just a couple buttons, but Essentially, that's what they're teaching you for $5,000.
I always like the example of I'll teach you how to become a millionaire. Just buy my book, and then
or the seminar. Buy a ticket to the seminar.
and then you open the book and you're like, you just did it because you gave them $20 and enough people give them $20, and then you're gonna go to their class and they're gonna be like, listen, I got a bunch of dummies to give me $20 for books. Oh wait, you guys are here. It's like. That's
how they did it. Yeah.
That is multi-level marketing right there.
And
it is. It's gross.
Okay, everyone's here with the book. So that's what you do. You're looking out. Everyone's here with the book.
Great.
That's how you become a millionaire, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah. See you. I'm out of here.
See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for buying the book.
So I have this.
That's how you become a millionaire.
I'll be outside signing the book for another $20
for $10. You give them a deal. They already bought it for $20.
There
Awesome.
you go. So, well, that brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. So you had this T-shirt that just blew up. Well, you've had other T-shirts too, but this coffee and nap shirt that blew up.
Comedy and naps, yeah.
Comedy and nap, yeah, coffee and nap. Well, we've been talking about coffee this entire
Close.
time. I'm addicted, dude.
Yeah.
I'll wake up in the morning like I'm not
To comedy or
until I
coffee?
have
Which one?
Coffee. Well, both.
Oh, okay.
I pour them both in my cup, and wow.
So comedy and naps. Yeah, sorry about that. What was your reaction when it blew up, and then what marketing steps did you do to keep it there?
Okay. So I had previous shirts that I would like mostly sell to friends.
Okay.
Yeah, I sold 10 of them. Great. That was like my experience with selling shirts. I never really sold that many at shows per se. Like I wouldn't, I wasn't selling out theaters and then having my punchline on a shirt or something. I wasn't doing any of that stuff before. So it was really my first time having like something that was like, oh, this is like I made a post about it, but it's still going, like it was still, every day. And it was around this time last year is when it was like crazy, where I was just like paying all my bills with just the T-shirt money. And it's the shirt, the Comedy Naps shirt still sells, but it's had peaks and valleys of until last year. So what happened was I had my friends wearing it, right? And then it kind of grew to like that was like my first sign that it was something popular, was when it was people that I didn't know wearing it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is great. So I'm seeing like orders come in through my website that would be like addresses or states that I don't even know people in. And so I had it set up where I was working with a company at the time that like if you ordered online, they would then fulfill the order and ship it and stuff like that. So I built it already to handle growth.
Okay.
Because if it was just me, I would have been like freaking out like that I had that many orders, and I might have turned it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I would have been like, I have to ship all these.
I can't pay for stamps.
For real.
So I already had the back end built up, and then and then the steps I took towards that was like immediately when it was kind of growing, I was turning around and using some of that money to run ads, and then those ads were growing from there.
Wow.
So
that's smart. Yeah. So on the heels of that, we sold our first shirt already. So we're excited about that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Starting somewhere.
So things are moving.
Yeah, man.
Well, it was funny because we got a text message. What was it, yesterday or the day before? And they're like, "Did
it was yesterday?
Did either one of you guys buy a shirt?" And we're like, "No." And then Scott's like, "Maybe Mark did," and I'm like,
"Yeah, I thought maybe him." So neither one of us did. So like, all right, so that means someone randomly bought a shirt.
That's great.
So it was like, yeah, it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I have it hooked up now. I use my friend's company, Marketing Beaver, and so if you go to my website and you hit buy, it all goes to him, and then he
Okay.
prints it, he ships it out of his warehouse. And I like that because I know exactly where it's coming from. I know the guy that's printing it. If I have any problems, he's literally a text or phone call away.
Oh, that's
Instead
cool.
of like I was using like some Shopify plugins where they do all that for you. And I was like, I don't know where my shirt's coming from or the quality or the anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so I have it set up where like now I just get alerts every time someone buys it, and that's like great because I'm like, oh, it's 1 a.m. and some stranger buys a shirt. And I'm like, this is great. This is money in my
That's
pocket.
awesome.
So
Heck yeah.
yeah, it's been great.
Is the alert of the text message like a cha-ching? Cha-ching.
I wish. I should.
Cha-ching.
You're giving me a lot of good ideas. I should.
You know, that's what I do. You know, and I have a book. It's on Amazon. It's like $92, but it's about great ideas I give people. And
Let's be real, Scott. It's a free ebook. It's now on our website.
it is. It's on our website. Check out our website. Mark, give the website.
Yeah. Amigospc.net. The book is
While you're-
written by Zach Lyman.
While you're there, pick up a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Pick up a T-shirt.
Amigos and naps.
Amigos and Naps.
Oh,
that's good. That's a good
An
one.
idea.
That might be the name of the episode.
Amigos and Naps. There we
Amigos
go.
and Naps.
Yeah, no, the shirt that we had sell was cookies for dinner.
It's one of our most popular episodes.
Just a thing I like saying.
Yeah, and I don't know, Mark, can you share it to the screen, or I don't know, like if you can
That's a good
show.
question. I don't know.
It might be a way to show like what it looks like, but it's funny looking. It's basically, to sum it up, it's basically Cookie Monster, right, holding a beer. Not really Cookie Monster. It's a knockoff Cookie Monster because we don't want any infringements. So it's a blue sock.
It's like a monster that eats cookies.
It's a blue monster that eats cookies. And he's got a beer in his hand and he has cookies in the other. So he's just like down to yummy.
No, I'll do it in post. It won't let me do it
Okay.
here.
So
We're not that fancy yet.
and Mark did put in our
post.
oof.
He's got many
fancy.
stages.
And Mark did put it to our site to go to our store in the link there on the live chat. But
Nice.
so yeah,
That's great.
So that's pretty cool. And we have other ones too that we're doing.
Well, congrats,
I
guys.
can
Thank
share
you.
my
Well,
screen.
it's thanks to you as well, buddy. I mean, you're helping us.
Yeah,
With,
no, yeah. I mean, we had the
Thanks
idea
to
for the
you.
shirt, but the reason we got it up and running was because we went into that chat and we were
Yeah,
talking
well,
about growing and
yeah.
trying to, put our
Uh-oh.
names out there even
Oh.
further.
For sure.
I can actually share my screen. So
Oh, here we go. You can? Wow, fancy pants.
I'm trying to
okay.
figure it out. But yeah.
Enhance. Ah, Steven's on. Yo, guys. So, Zach, with everything going on, I think in the world, how do you feel everything's been handled? There we go.
Oh, gee,
Never mind my question. Never mind my question. Just check out the Cookie Monster struggling to get the
Gotta
cookies
put my
out.
glasses back on. What?
Oh wow, it like shows the screen and we're like all still there. That's hilarious.
That's pretty cool. Zach kind of froze,
see.
but there we go. I think he's getting better.
Scott's
I
bad
think
with
I'm back.
names.
What?
I've been sick, guys.
What do you mean?
There you go.
Is that Stefan? Stefan? Stefan?
Yes.
Stefan from.
He's like, it's not even
Sorry.
Steven, Scott. Come on.
I know. I've got your name wrong so many times, Stefan, but I still heart you. You know that.
He still did it wrong.
I still said it wrong at the end.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Stefan,
That's
right?
good.
Stefan?
So, it
No?
just completely just threw me off. We're not doing any more of that transitioning sharing screens or anything
Why?
like that.
Why?
Because
You
now
can't multitask?
I'm completely lost at this point.
Yeah. It's never too late.
So, Zach, is the Spotify thing working or no? When
Yeah,
I say
well,
Spotify thing, like you made a playlist.
yeah. So what I did was I started focusing on Spotify. I
Yeah.
stopped focusing on iTunes, and then I was like, "What's all the directions of Spotify?" Right? If you Google Spotify marketing, I've watched all of it.
Every
Wow.
single piece of material.
So it's a lot of people are like, they talk about like if you're a rapper, what you should do, and talk about playlists and talk about all these things. And so I kind of put together a plan of I'm going to make playlists, and then I'm going to add myself with a mixture of other podcasts. And then I was like really focusing on when I share the link out, it's only going to be Spotify links.
Yeah.
And then in this coming week, I'm probably going to be running some more podcast ads, and it'll be Spotify ads, like ads that go to Spotify. And then I was focusing on how to get on the charts and how to get into the playlists, and just kind of like really focusing my energy that way. And I think it's working. It is growing. It definitely my audience has probably on Spotify has probably like tripled.
Okay.
But like that's I didn't have too much on there anyways because my podcast is pretty newer on Spotify. So all that said and done, yes, it is, and then it's helping me with my chartable charting. So I'm actually like higher up on the charts overall because of that.
So our guest from
Yeah, I didn't mean to laugh during that. We have a live chat comment. Can you see live chats on your side there, Zach?
So first,
Yeah.
we got to give Nick a shout out.
Yeah, hey Nick,
Thanks,
what's up,
Nick
buddy?
Gavin. Hi.
Hey Nick.
Hey Nick.
Thomas Eppolito, our guest last week, asked
Yeah.
if you could make cat noises, and then
Then he said car noises. So is that a thing you do, Zach? Which kind of cars do we have to close our eyes and we can envision the car you do?
I did have.
So that's a Ford.
I had Thomas Eppolito blocked on Facebook for about a year. I unblocked him
because of that.
No, I just was like, I've had enough Thomas in my life, at this point. But he's a friend. He's a local comic.
He's one of those comics you won't share a stage with, right? You went to his venue and you're like, you know what? I don't like working at your venue.
Is it because of the restraining order? Like how, like was it 500 feet or something, or 1,000 feet?
Yeah. I always try to social distance myself from Thomas Eppolito.
Who wouldn't? I don't know if you've heard his recent bit. It's terrible. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, Thomas.
He's gonna get you.
You need a social distance away from him. He's gonna shoot you.
He's gonna get you.
I'm joking, Thomas. I really am. I'm not.
I love you, Tommy.
I heard you, Thomas.
Yeah. I just picture him leaving comments where he's wearing a black shirt and he's wearing a flannel unbuttoned. I picture that's the only.
Or maybe
that's
the
what
top
he's been
button?
wearing for 45 days.
Maybe just the top button.
No.
Oh, no buttons.
He's not.
That's his only outfit.
Not Vato enough.
It's only up.
Oh, he did buy a gun. He did buy a gun. He said. So just be careful, all of us.
This is great. Great news.
So the guy you blocked now has a gun, and
the last update that we had, he didn't have any ammo, so you're good.
Yeah, you're good on. You can't find the ammo, but he has a gun.
I think. I'm not sure. He may have acquired some since.
Can he track my IP address? This isn't good.
I don't know. I don't think he's that clever.
I don't think he's an IT guy.
He is wearing a black shirt. He said.
He said that. So there's a black shirt involved.
His flannel is his going out shirt. That's what he means.
Oh, classy.
Here, shit. when you're doing, so you do open mics, right? Before COVID,
Yeah.
you were going to open mics regularly. Do you have any rituals that you do during or before your open mics? Like something you gotta do?
I have a process.
Okay.
I would say it's very ritual of me to do it though. I normally get a soda because I don't drink.
Dr. Pepper?
Yeah, a
Oh.
Dr. Pepper probably. This guy knows.
I pay attention to details.
And then I bring my notebook with me. I make my set list while I'm there. Maybe I thought about it during the day. And then I write my set list, and then I draw a line, and then I write notes. And then I always record my set with my phone, and then I drive home. And on the drive home, I connect my phone to my car, and I listen back to my set, and I'm listening for certain parts, and I'm adjusting that. And then if I'm doing like 2 open mics in a night, that's like kind of like I'm listening to it as I'm driving to the next one to adjust it and record again. And
there's another comedian that does that.
That's smart.
Josh Harrison, he does that. Like,
Yeah.
he likes to hit a bunch of mics, and then in between mics, he'll listen to what he did previously.
Yeah, he'll record it and then listen, and then like
So that's pretty commonplace. So in your ebook, it says you gotta record your sets somewhere, right?
Probably. I hope it does. I also, like, when I was writing the ebook, I also kind of stayed away from being, like, too detailed of, like, how to do comedy.
Yeah.
Because, like, well, first off, my comedy's weird, and I know that. And Tom Sapolio was right. I do make car noises in my comedy. That's fine. So, like, who am I to tell people how to do comedy or how to write a joke or but I can tell you about recording your set and writing and just kind of like being like doing the acts of more of like telling you how to do the acts. So yeah, I definitely am like heavily into like recording, listening, and trying to fix and critique. You know, I have sets on this phone. I have sets all the way back to like I think 2014.
Oh, was it like an iPhone 4 then?
No, it's a newer iPhone, but it's not. It's not
well,
the
you
greatest
said 2014,
one.
So I was like, geez, how long have you had that one?
No, like I carry them over every time I get a phone.
Okay. I can never figure that out. Like
what?
on the Apple thing, like every time
you just save you just cloud it up, right? Don't you put it in the cloud?
Yeah. When you do your
backup,
backup,
storage on my cloud.
Like well,
that's
out of
problem number one.
Maybe you had to pay for more or get rid of all your dick pics you got.
Ooh, he called you out.
True. Yeah. Well, they're his.
Well, I've seen them. Yeah, I sent them to him. He doesn't keep them, or I guess he does.
Yeah. My phone's full of them.
You shouldn't be saying it. You should just be creating a Google Drive for him. That's what you're saying.
That's true.
See, that's what I need to do.
Marketing guru.
My new ebook, how to
Google Drive your dick pics.
Don't do that. Please don't send anyone ever.
I wonder how
that's a good name. That's a good name of a book.
It is. I wonder how that would work in like SEO. So what
please don't ever send that to someone.
It's too much. He's like, don't do that. Stop it.
You know what? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
this has been great.
He's like, I'm done with this venue.
This has been good.
I don't want to do this venue anymore. Well, I brought up SEO though.
We're not easy to work with.
Yeah, we're easy to work with.
I said we're not. Easy. We're not. But go ahead, say what you're going to say.
Yeah. So I did bring up SEO, and that's one thing I did want to talk about while we're here, because that is a topic that we've had periodically in our chat, right?
Yeah.
So for other podcasts, because there are some podcasters that tune into this our show periodically.
Okay.
What are some good SEO or keywords or things like that that could help a podcast, maybe on their website or just their episodes, or some tips maybe?
So you're talking comedians that have podcasts?
Yeah, or just podcasts in general, or comedy
or just podcasts in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like definitely I like the app Keywords Everywhere. So that's a Chrome extension that I've installed. And then I like using that, and then I just go to Google, and I could type in like comedy podcast, or maybe you have a yoga podcast, and then you type in yoga podcast, and kind of just seeing what SEO comes up and where it all goes, and using that app, and then finding the right keywords for that exact one. That's a good starting point. But if you're trying to lean more into your comedy, I would definitely, if you're an interview podcast, you could heavily lean into the types of guests that you have, and use their SEO or their social media power. And I feel like that's a big thing a lot of podcasts mess up on, is they get these great guests that have such huge resumes, and but then their episode gets buried just like the rest, because they're not properly using the right keywords for that person, and like really using their bio, or like even going to like a comedian's website, copying his bio and then putting that description into a podcast. That alone helps with SEO, because it's kind of connecting all the dots there for you.
So if I had a guest and his name was Zach Lyman, and I was going to put him in my episode title, for SEO purposes, what would
Get
you
his bio?
recommend?
That's what I just learned. That's what I learned for free. Get his bio and then just plug it in there somewhere, right?
Buy my ebook.
This guy's got it. I don't know why you even asking me.
Yes,
We
just accomplished it.
I learned.
Yeah, like if I was the guest, right? I would use I would go to Zach Lyman's website, and I would see what all he's promoting and what all he's been on, because they, comics want to tell you their credits, so it's like, at least on their website. So then I would pull all of the credits, and then even break down those credits. Like I would find out like if they were ever on like a Netflix show or something like that, and then I would use that SEO and break that down and kind of go more in detail of even how people are finding that Netflix show. So you're just kind of getting all the avenues squared up.
I like this. It's like a waterfall type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
Like I started here, but as I grew more into, as I started digging a little deeper, like I'm cascading down into this search so I can narrow it down. I like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And that was Zach Lyman's ebook.
Called Thomas Eppolito's Restraining Order.
Oh, that's our next episode.
I didn't approve this episode, guys. I am just strictly.
He's not going to talk to us
listener.
again. Great.
Yeah.
This is
Shit.
This was way too off the rails.
All your fault, Mark.
So welcome to the Amigos PC. I don't think an episode has ever been on the rails, and if it was very short. Very short.
I don't. Yeah. Normally, sometimes it does stay on course, and then it doesn't. Like, we'll start that way, and then it doesn't go where we want it to. But then it's all magic in the end.
That's okay. On my podcast, we've been talking about Costco hot dogs. So I've been to almost every guest.
They're so good.
Are you mad that they got rid of the Polishes?
Some of my guests have been mad about that.
That's ridiculous. Like, it completely upset about that. Like, you used to have the Costco Polish and then the Costco hot dogs, and now it's just Costco hot dogs. Like, I don't understand. Why did you get rid of the Polish? Polish are way better.
So, is it when you?
I feel like I should be looking up a hotline for you.
Right?
When you went to
Costco
Costco, that means that's what you normally got at the end of your shopping adventure, typically.
If
Mark?
I had $1.50.
I don't.
$1.25.
If you had $1.50, Zach is a no.
I
I
don't
would.
even shop at Costco. I don't even have a Costco membership.
Actually,
You can use mine, Zach.
I won't be shopping at Costco after May 4th.
Here we go. Let's start it up. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Why is that, Mark? Why won't you be doing that?
Because they're requiring people to wear masks or face protectives.
Everybody. What is your thought on that, Zach?
My thought on everyone wearing masks?
At Costco.
I don't know, man. I'm not a doctor.
Me neither. Not anymore. Not since they put the license.
The only thing that annoys me about it, it's 2 months later. Why are we all of a sudden now taking precautions in a store like
That is true. And I did like what you sent me the other day, or someone sent me, which basically was like, it's just like now putting a condom, nudes, putting a condom on after she's pregnant 2 months later.
I sent that.
Yeah, you said that. So I was like, oh my God, that's fucking so true. You're too late. A little too late.
I don't know. Maybe you'll see me next year wearing a mask anyways. Just because I don't.
Because it's a thing to do.
Man. I don't know. I don't know what the right. I'm so not a doctor. So is it too late or is it too early? I don't even know. Like,
yeah,
I purposely haven't been reading up on things because I'm like, I'm just gonna lock myself up for a while
until they tell me I can see the light.
Until I get event requests where people are like, come to my open mic, and then I'll be like, I'm still gonna give it 2 weeks. Like, that's.
I like how it's a 2 week buffer. It's not 2 weeks to make it okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you guys know this, but I have an autoimmune disease. So I'm like, I'm at the highest risk.
You need to be
of like
locked up.
Yeah.
Not like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. So I was like the first person to be like stepping away, and but yeah, like that's, I don't know. I'm trying not to die. I'm doing my best not to die, and that's it.
That's a good plan.
Maybe
good plan.
Yeah, for right now at least,
I feel like there's a bit there for that. Do you have an autoimmune disease bit? You do?
I have a couple jokes about it, but nothing. I wish I had more, I guess, because it's like it's a harder thing to write about because it can easily, because like what I find funny about it isn't always what other people are going to find funny about it, because to them it might just be like a sad story, where they're like, that poor guy. But to me, I'm like, oh, I thought this was great. So it's like I want to write more about it because I talk about like when I found out, my doctor like broke the news to me in a weird way. He was very like, how people out there don't like you? Like that's happening on the inside. Like, it was very like,
God, that's
awesome. A very weird talk of like,
was that Robin Williams? That was fucking Patch Adams.
Yeah, your doctor has a very
you had Patch Adams. Patch Adams was his doctor.
I just called him Mr. Adams.
Oh, yeah, that's funny. Or Dr. Adams.
No, never that. He's more of a Mr. to me.
Too proper.
To me.
It's very sir-like.
Do you think that, in your own opinion, you may not want to give it, but in your own opinion, do you think it's going to be too hacky if a lot of comedians start coming out with COVID-19 jokes as this ends?
Oh, it's going to happen.
Have you been on the internet?
I mean, I know they're going to be there, but
no, there's already a million memes. There's people making videos. There's tweets about it,
But there's not open mics yet. I mean, there's virtual mics.
Right. Yeah, someone's just printing out the memes right now and putting in a folder called Open Mic Time. And then they're going to just bring their memes to an open mic and be like, here's my things I thought about. And,
what does the next comedy club look like though when things get better? Like, is it every 6 feet there's a fucking person, or you know what I mean? Like that's where it's going to be. Like, obviously you're not a doctor. None of us are, not anymore.
Yeah,
but
I lost my license.
We lost our license because we malpracticed.
I thought you just misplaced it.
No. We literally fucked up, and we weren't good doctors. And
shocker.
Yeah. Well,
It was those Costco hot dogs.
Costco. We told them if they eat enough of them, COVID goes away, and it doesn't work that way. And do you think that it's going to be? I hope it's not that, but do you think it's going to be like that? Like every 6 feet, there's a person sitting there.
I've talked about before about like there's always the comedy bubble, right? Like we had the comedy bubble before, and then we kind of like, and then it collapsed for a while, and then we've been rebuilding. And I remember being on, maybe it could have even been on my podcast. I remember talking before about, I was like, when does that happen? When do we end that comedy bubble and kind of start new again?
Yeah.
And I kind of like that this could be the time because so many businesses are closing. Maybe some comedy clubs won't be around, and then it'll be just like before, where that's where like alternative comedy grew. All of a sudden, people are booking music venues and they're booking bars more, because that's what's around, and they don't have all the comedy clubs. And so I think like there's going to be a weird shift between that, where it's like there's going to be more comedy clubs in certain areas, less in others, and and it's just going to kind of make people think of. I think because last time, right, they did bars, they did music venues, but now they have Zoom and online in different ways. So it's like I feel like there's going to be just another alternative turn where it's like, yeah, I only do Zoom open mics, I think that's going to stick around, and I think there's going to be a continuation of growing, and maybe there'll be an app in the future, because I feel like people are probably developing stuff right now, so maybe there's an app in the future where we just log on, tell our jokes, and then sign off, and I feel like that's going to be more of where it is. But I think comedy clubs have been a certain way and are going to probably continue being a certain way, but it might be a rough getting into of like, who knows if it's going to be hard to sell out or pack a place, or if people are just going to be like, whatever.
Yeah.
I love
it's going to be a totally different new world.
I love how you built this comedy economy. Like, there's this, it was this certain way, and now there's a bubble. It popped and crashed, and then it came back, and now we might be at that bubble again. We were talking about off mic prior to this, a little bit of real estate, where there was the .com bubble. Maybe like that's where comedy is right now.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I found so important to me is like when I started doing comedy, there really wasn't that many comedy clubs in Phoenix. So if I wanted to perform often, I had to book myself, and I had to find these venues. And it was a very wake-up call of, I can just be like, I could be my own like booker and get my own following in a certain way, and then they're always going to come no matter what the venue changes, instead of just growing at one venue, and then when I'm not there, they're just not around, So I feel like this is going to be like a real learning experience of people growing their own following and producing their own stuff. So,
yes, very true. And this is in your next book, Zach?
Next ebook.
This is in your next book, right?
Yeah. My next ebook, I
can't wait.
How to Flop Around on Stage by Zach Lyman.
How to Get Through It by Zach Lyman.
Yeah.
You know what I thought
how to
was,
be okay.
You know what I thought was innovative? I guess Stream has this app or game that's on there for stand-up comedy.
Yeah, I saw that.
So a guest that actually we both had on, Bubba McComb, decided to set up
Bubba.
He's one of your popular episodes, isn't it? Isn't he?
Yeah, his episode blew up. I love that man. And then
that was the name of the episode?
Yeah, the episode is I love that man. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then we both have T-shirts that say "I love this man" with arrows, and we point
at each other. Yeah, brilliant.
No, Bob is great. Absolutely great guest. But you were gonna say something about
Yeah,
him.
so he did something I thought was very innovative. He took this game and he basically made a stand-up mic. Like he made sure that he blocked all the teenagers that blasted the N-word. And then he brought in certain people. I guess that's a thing on the internet, right? I mean, people play video games and teenagers decide that they use free speech.
True.
But no, he created this mic, and then he would give everybody a couple minutes and switch them out. He would come up, do his host thing, and then continue. Like, I was interested as I watched it. I would like to see more of something like that. Like, I think a lot of people that would catch on a lot.
I really wouldn't be surprised if there's somewhere right now people making that. You know, like making a better version for like meant for what we're trying to use it for.
Exactly.
I 100% agree, and I really do think that could be the future of open mics in general. Like you could have everyone on. You know, you could have every type of performer. And
technically, because I mean, it had like its own avatar, so technically you could be sitting in your underwear telling your jokes on the internet. No one would know because your avatar is however you made it. Some guy standing on stage in his underwear, and then you get off and you did your 5. Like,
you know what I would do? I don't know if Bubba's still doing this, but I kind of want to sign up, and then when it's my turn, I just play a set from my phone that has the laughter. And then I pause it every once in a while, and I go, see, it did work one time, and then
it did work.
and then I play it again.
That's awesome.
Zach Lyman, the new ebook, The Lazy Man Hustle. Copyright Zach Lyman, even though that's a taken book phrase.
You guys are gonna get me in trouble.
It's all meant for good fun. Like, if anybody gets butthurt, send them my way. I'll talk them down.
Oh, I will. Don't worry. I will. I will definitely.
We've had so much drama in the not we. I've created enough drama in the comedy world with certain comics. Like I don't mean to. I just say things.
Well, and then people just get unfortunately butthurt.
Yeah,
you know, it's just all in good fun. If you can't laugh, then.
Why?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I'm going to take this moment to remind the audience that I am a guest. I do not agree with
whatever they're saying. Yeah.
I'm here to be, I think, interviewed. It's been off the rails. I'm not.
Oh my God. we gotta soundbite that and keep that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I'm not sure.
Perfect. 1 hour, 2 minutes in, he was having fun.
He was having fun. There were points where in the episode he was like, I'm never coming back to this venue. This is not a venue I want to deal with. You know, guys,
they're hard to deal with. He said that about another place, but we can use that for us. They're hard to deal with, never coming back.
Just in my notebook, it says, Amigos, do not vibe.
No. Just Amigos, no. No Amigos. That's awesome.
I'm just writing
your
a new banner.
You're doodling?
Yeah.
Just taking notes.
During the show.
Wow. So, what'd you say? Is a guess. Anything said during the show is not his own opinion. Perfect. Good disclaimer.
There you go. That's a good way to end the show, just in case anybody makes it this far.
Yeah.
I know Zach Lyman didn't.
All of a sudden, you just see it's my laptop sitting here, and I'm gone.
It's just a big middle finger.
Don't worry. We'll crop you out from earlier and put you there to finish the episode.
Floating like a screensaver,
bouncing. Boom. Boom.
Just my profile picture.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, I greatly appreciate that you did come on the show.
Yes, thank you, Zach.
Sorry that it was all over the place, all over the rails, everything like that. I did learn some things. I've been learning from you a lot with our group chat, so I really appreciate that.
Don't worry, those are over now. He's not going to talk to you
I know
anymore.
He's going to block me after this.
We burned that bridge.
We did during this episode for sure. If you could tell us where we can find you on social media, and just any drops you want to put in, promote yourself, marketing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, first off, I did have fun. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I appreciate it. I have my own podcast that's off the rails. If people want to listen to that, Zach Lyman podcast. I mean, I talk about Costco hot dogs. It gets all over the place. ZachLyman.com. You can basically find everything there. And then I like to tell people I live on Instagram because that's like where I spend most of my time online is between Facebook and Instagram. And my Instagram is Zach Lyman Podcast. So pretty easy to find. And
where can we find your bio?
It's ZachLyman.com.
Oh, okay, cool.
It talks about the when comedy existed, what I used to do. That's
awesome. Awesome, cool. I jotted that down.
You can find his ebook.
We're gonna put that in there and plug that
ebooks. In. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, all 20 of my ebooks are available on my website.
All the ones we started today and the past ones.
Yeah. I have a ghostwriter next to me, and they've just been tip-tapping away.
Heck yeah. It's a way to do it.
Well, everybody that was watching during our live, thank you. For those listening and watching going forward, make sure that you like, subscribe, and check out other videos with Zach Lyman's podcast and our podcast. We, right now, as of what is today, the 1st of May, we are 4 shirts away from our goal that we've recently launched our shirts and merch and things like that. If you guys could go to our website, Amigospc.net, check it out, check our merch out. If you like any of the shirts, please go ahead and buy one.
Yes.
Go pick up that Amigos and Naps shirt.
There you go. That's
yeah.
Gonna be a new one. That's going to be
That is going to be a new one. We have to develop that one for sure.
Now we got to give him royalty rights.
It's going to be like a guy in a sombrero sleeping.
Oh.
Bingo.